build.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to turn the recording on. I was supposed to record it, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to hit continue here. So that's how we started with Rotary. In Anchorage, we had a lot of Rotary opportunities, including going on a Rotoplas mission to the Philippines, and some other things. We helped a district conference, being a hospitality committee, and then we moved to Arizona and became members of the Verde Rotary Club in Green Valley, Arizona, and were members there for 5 years. Anyway, we continue. We went to Thailand on a friendship exchange during that time, and have done other things. I still get reports on what they're doing. And then we moved here about a year ago. We are Paul Harris Fellows, and very much believe in the foundation. And we're online today because we want to know how Rotary works in Hawaii. And we know everyone's a little bit different. Each district is different. So we're here to learn.
Great. Thank you, guys. That's super. Amanda, how about you?
So I just joined the Honolulu Club after about 5 months of virtually calling in. I was located in Boston last year. And so came to the club because for me, in previous place I've lived, Rotary is kind of a great way to access just great people in the community. And so I started with Rotary back in 2013 through service projects, and then finally joined the Club of San Antonio, which is a fairly large club, in 2015. And so it was just a big part of my life there. Some of the best people I know really are Rotarians. And so I stay and joined upon moving to Honolulu because I just find it's the best way to engage with your community through service. And, to have the opportunity as a young Rotarian to just learn from the community mentors that are there. And I find usually a great person finds their way to Rotary. And so I wanted to, selfishly take advantage of all the wisdom that I could acquire and give through service and by supporting the activities and the charities that Honolulu Club supports.
Cool. So Amanda, can I ask you what part of Boston you were in?
I was right in the North End just for a year. My spouse is military, so we've moved a bit. And so now we have Honolulu as home. So that's how we decided, hey, let's join a club and let's get engaged.
Cool. My my daughter and her husband are in the Coast Guard, and they in July got restationed out in Provincetown, out on the Cape. So my wife has actually just been out there for the last 2 months. So we're
beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we really I just got back. Actually, I'm still in quarantine a week ago. So I like it. So Raina, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your Rotary story.
Hi, so I am Raina Inouye. I joined Rotary about a month ago, the Sunrise Rotary Club here in Honolulu. I joined because my neighbor who lives 2 doors down told me about it and invited me to come to one of their meetings. And so I think I started coming to calling into their virtual meetings maybe 3 months ago. But it's something that I've always wanted to do. I have 2 kids, age 13 and 10. And over the years, I've looked into joining Rotary, and it's just been difficult to find the time to do that with 2 kids. But now with everything being virtual, it just worked out for me. And they're also older now. So I feel like even when we go back to meeting in person, I think it's going to work out just fine with them where they're at. So the other thing for me is, we moved here from California about 4 years ago, and I still work for my company that I was with in San Francisco remotely. And so outside of my kids' school and my, people I've met through my husband, I haven't had the opportunity to really meet people here. And so this was a great way for me to kind of build more contacts and make friends in the community, doing something that I really enjoy doing, volunteering and just helping out. So it worked out really well. And I've really enjoyed it so far.
Great. Thanks, Verena. That's wonderful. So you might see on your screen Melissa Pang. Now she has just put on the chat that she hasn't quite figured out how to unblock the camera and turn the microphone on, but she is on. She's a new member of the West Honolulu Rotary Club, and she'll be formally inducted in about 2 weeks. So I'm introducing her because of technical difficulties. Oh, okay. And then let's see. She also said, I will be a third generation West Honolulu Rotary member. My grandfather was a past president who introduced Rotary to my father. I am familiar with the West Honolulu Rotary Club and its members from a young age. I've traveled with the club to sister club anniversaries, participated in various club activities, both social and community projects, and represented our club with the foreign exchange program our club has with the Kyoto West Rotary Club. So I have a long history with the West Rotary Club and have been asked over the recent 2 years about joining. I'm interested in community service aspect of Rotary. Cool. So thank you. Thank you, Melissa. And her father's Jeff Pang, who I work with. He's actually the current president. So hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining us. I know you can't respond, but I can already see that you're smiling and happy to be here. So Evelyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? I know that you've moved here.
Hi, yes. Well, let's see here. Actually, I've been involved in Rotary before before women were actually allowed to join.
Yes.
And I actually used to waitress for a early morning Rotary Club in Virginia Beach, out on the ocean front, and pour coffee and serve breakfast, and it was great. Cool. And actually, it was I helped with a lot of their different events when they would have their beach parties and fundraisers, things like that. It was fun. So even though they didn't allow women to join, I also, felt a connection. So then when I moved to Colorado of course, I worked just for a few years for them. And then over the years, I got involved in the mortgage industry. I've been in the mortgage industry since 1993. And I've owned 2 mortgage companies. The one that I currently own right now is A-Frame Mortgage. It's licensed in Colorado and Hawaii. And that is one of the things that brought me here because of the fact of best of both worlds, get to enjoy both. So I joined the Honolulu Club here. One of the things about, I was born and raised military. So when you move to new places, it's, sometimes it's hard to get integrated in your new place. I find that Rotary has been a great way to meet a lot of different people and a lot of different experts in their backgrounds and their fields. And so it's been very helpful for me and my business, as well as personally. I've met some really neat people along my journey. So thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you, Evelyn. That was really great. So Lynn, do you have a couple of comments you want to make to us this morning?
Okay, I'm sorry that I can't work my video. I'll be leaving in a little while to try to make that work because I'm here actually for the 10 o'clock meeting.
Oh, great. But you're early then.
I do want to hear what Benson has to say. I've been a member for a year and a half, and I belong to the Rotary Club of Mililani Sunrise. So we also get up very early to meet.
Cool.
And I'm the secretary and the club trainer. So because I haven't been in Rotary very long, I feel like there's always something new that I can learn if I want to talk to others about Rotary, especially if I'm the trainer. So I'm here listening in.
Yeah.
Hey, glad to be here.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah,
I gotta,
thank you.
I gotta tell you, I work with all the club trainers in our district, and Lynn is one of the most diligent ones. I mean, she shows up all the time for every meeting. So, when you're the district trainer, you recognize all the people that are there, and it seems like, I see Lynn Goya's name on a lot. So it's great that you're here today, Lynn. I'm happy to have you.
Thanks.
Okay, so let me roll through a few things. I mean, some of you have had some significant experience with Rotary, which is excellent. So a lot of this stuff is going to make sense to you. Some of you just starting in your whole Rotary lifespan. And what I tell people is that everybody has a Rotary lifespan. Okay, for some people it's pretty short because they don't find the connection in there, and for some people, and I know a lot of people, it's a lifetime thing. They go all the way till the end of their life. And I've been really fortunate to be connected with some lifetime Rotarians. One of my great mentors, he actually just passed away earlier this year, was Jimmy Souza. And Jimmy Souza was a charter member of our club, which was chartered in 1956. So he was a Rotarian for 64 years before he passed away. And so you wonder, like, wow, why do people want to stick with Rotary for that long? And it's basically because Rotary is the place that you go when you find a purpose bigger than yourself. And so everybody that's on this screen today has found that, or at least wants that in their life. So I'm going to take you through a little PowerPoint presentation. It's a few slides, and it talks a little bit about what Rotary is, a little bit about Rotary in Hawaii, what Rotary does, and what Rotary means to you. And then on the other side of that, I'm going to turn it over to Connie, and then Connie will talk a little bit more about that. You'll look at Connie. Connie's like, what? I'm going to do what? So that's the kind of the cool dynamic about Rotary, is that you have people that click in and that are always willing to help. Okay, everybody see that okay? I'm getting a good thumbs up. All right, good. Okay, so we're District 5000, and it's easy to remember because there are a ton of districts all over the entire world. We're the only District 5000. So when you see District 5000, that is Hawaii, and that includes all of the islands of the state of Hawaii. And we'll talk about a number of clubs and all that. Okay, so what is Rotary? We're actually an international service organization that is over the entire, it's all over the entire planet. And I'll get into some of the numbers. So if you haven't been in Rotary before and you just kind of heard that term, or you drive into a town and you see this Rotary sign and you're wondering, God, what is Rotary? Are they like the Elks? Are they like the Lions? Are they like the Kiwanis? We're an international service organization, and our job basically is to work with other Rotarians to serve the needs of other people. So that's it. And then, we have some specific things that we kind of focus on, but that's the basic gist of who we are. Okay, we're a network of 35,000 clubs. So you're all a member of a club or going to be a member of a club. So you are one of 35,000 of them all over the entire planet. Okay, in our District 5000, which is the state of Hawaii, there are 53 of us, 53 clubs that manage about 1,500 Rotarians in our state. So we're a pretty good force of folks in our state. Rotary clubs are in over 220 countries all over the planet. And so, we're a large international organization that does great things all over the world. We're divided into 530 districts. And so we're District 5000. And so there are 529 other districts just like us. And then the districts are all sort of combined, and we're in 34 regional zones. And our zone is District 2627, which is basically the west coast of the mainland right here. And it includes Hawaii and Alaska. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I'm very fortunate to work with some of the zone people. So some of my cohorts are all over the west coast of the United States. Okay, so like I said, we're District 5000. There's 53 clubs all over the place. We make up a very diverse group of people that are, we have young Rotarians. I mean, in my club, my granddaughter's a member of our club. She's 21 years old. She's the youngest Rotarian by far in our club. And then I have Harold Ohata in my club. Harold Ohata's been a Rotarian for over 55 years. Harold is 93 years old. It's going to be 94. Okay, somebody's just joining our meeting right now. Okay, our current district governor is NAOMI MASUNO, and NAOMI has been Rotarian for over 20 years. She's held probably every position in district leadership that there is. She retired from the Bank of Hawaii, and so she is currently kind of my cohort that I work with just about daily on trying to develop training throughout our district. Okay, so her team, the people that support NAOMI, she has 11 assistant governors, and our state is kind of broken up into little zones. Each zone has about 4 to 7 clubs in it, and each one of those zones has an assistant governor that helps NAOMI manage all of the things that are happening. And so these people that are in this picture that all are wearing pretty much the same aloha shirt are at PETS, which is our president-elect training seminar that we have. And so we get together, take a little group picture. So this is basically the leadership of our district in this picture. So, so let's talk about Rotary in general. Rotary was started back in 1905 by a attorney named Paul Harris, and he got together with his 3 buddies in this picture. This is Mr. Harris right here. So they decided to have a meeting, and their job was they wanted to try to connect people that were in business and also to do service projects throughout the area of Chicago. And because they wanted to rotate, this is for real now, rotate the meeting between each one of their offices, they decided to call it the Rotary Club. That's a true thing. Okay. So let's see, Marcia, I'm gonna have to mute you over. Hang on just a second. Okay. We're getting. Okay, cool. Sorry. We always have to mute people. See. Okay. So by 1910, Rotary was an international group because it had now that expanded into Canada, and then by 1925 they were on six continents. So it started expanding it from there. The first Rotary Club in Hawaii started in 1915. It had 29 members. It was Honolulu Club. So those of you guys that are members of the Honolulu Club, you were part of the original club that got chartered. Now, one of the clubs that got chartered just a few years after that was the Hilo Club, which celebrates this year their 100th anniversary. They were chartered in 1920. All right. So what do Rotarians do, right? So you hear all this like Rotary this, Rotary that. So what do we do? So well, Rotarians do an awful lot of things. First and foremost is that we work together to do all kinds of different projects, and we're going to run through some of those projects. And so our strength really comes from working together as a group. Like I said, there's 1,500 of us in our districts. The clubs can range all the way from 6 people up to 150 people. So there are a lot of Rotarians, and in a lot of places, like in the Hilo area, our clubs join together to do stuff, to do projects together. Okay, let's see. All right. we have regular meetings, and that's kind of the strength of Rotary is we do have regular meetings. We get together, talk about things that are important to us, our Rotary business, projects that we can work on. Obviously now, like the slide that you see, Rotary is meeting virtually. And, you know, that's been difficult for a lot of people, for a lot of our, especially our older members that want to kind of meet together. Although we've been able to embrace the whole virtual thing. And the virtual meetings has, of course, made it possible for a lot of Rotarians like Reina, right, to join and participate in Rotary where they might not be able to do an in-person meeting. So I see actually Rotary going forward as kind of a hybrid thing where we will get back together and do in-person meetings, but there's always going to be that that online aspect to it. So, you know, people that want to just join in virtually will have that opportunity. We serve the community. We do all kinds of different projects. One of the slides that you hear up there is that we do a rescue tube project where we put these rescue tubes all over beaches, all over the state. So if people get in trouble out there, there's not a lifeguard, somebody can take one of these rescue tubes and get it out there and save people's lives. And that has been a very successful project throughout our state. We do all kinds of stuff from collecting food to painting shelters, to picking up garbage, to fixing sidewalks. I mean, any type of project, handing out dictionaries to kids, any type of project that you can imagine where the community could be served, Rotary is involved in it. And one of the things that's always been said about Rotary, wherever there is good, Rotary is nearby. We work with youth. We have a whole entire section of Rotary called RILA, and that stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. And we have that every year. Each island basically does one. This year, we're going to have a statewide virtual meeting for everybody. And so our high school Rotarians are called Interact. And then we have a college group that's called Rotaracs. And so, you know, somebody can become involved in Rotary at a very early age, like in high school, and they can stay Rotarians all the way up until they're adults. Okay, we connect with our business community. A lot of people join Rotary because they want to connect with the existing business community out there. When I joined Rotary, I made a lot of business contacts that obviously helped me business-wise. And I think a lot of people start out doing that. But after about 2 years being in Rotary, what became really apparent to me is the quality of the people that were involved in Rotary were way beyond the benefit. I mean, the benefit that I was getting by being connected to that quality level of people was way beyond whatever you know, business advantage I was getting. So after a while, these people became started out being my clients, but then ended up being some of my closest friends. So it's been a great ride. Part of what we're doing in Rotary now is to develop leadership, and it's not just a conventional type of leadership where you know, you're the leader and you tell everybody else what to do. It's really about servant leadership, and servant leadership is a very different kind of leadership where you're working together to serve the benefit of others, and you know, not just attain power for yourself. So that's a great thing. We actually have a leadership academy that anyone can go to. You know, it's a monthly thing where they meet, and that at the end of it, you get certified as a graduate of our leadership academy. So, okay, we also raise critical funds to support nonprofits. Rotary is able to do a lot of things that government agencies cannot do. So like for us, that's a picture of us, me at the top there, with Lisa Rance, who's head of the Hilo Medical Foundation. We had a fundraiser, that's our fundraiser down at the bottom, Hilo Huli, and we donated $10,000 to the Hilo Medical Center Foundation. We also donated another $10,000 to the Big Island Boys and Girls Club. So it's those kinds of projects that Rotary is able to do, that government agencies just cannot do it. And so in our district, Rotary clubs actually raise millions of dollars that are donated to community service groups, like the Hilo Medical Center Foundation, Boys and Girls Clubs, Salvation Army, all of that. Okay, we also respond when there's local and worldwide crisis response. So some of you that were in Hawaii remember that 2 years ago in 2018, the lava just started spewing out of the streets over here on the Big Island. 500 homes were lost. Hundreds of people were homeless. And I got to tell you, the local Rotary really jumped up on top of this to make this thing go. But we got funds from Rotary clubs from all over the entire planet to help us with that. So, and then we do likewise when there's a big disasters in other places across the planet. We are there to deal with that or to help respond. So what's in it for you? If you're a Rotarian, a present Rotarian or thinking about being one, what's in it for you? Well, one, you get to connect with community leaders. So for those of you that are joining in Rotary and want to connect with the community leaders, you see right there with our past district governor, Nalani Flynn, you might recognize that guy next to her. It's David Ige, the governor. All right. But at every level of local leadership, Rotary is in the middle of all of that. So we have a chance in our community. We work, our newly elected mayor is a Rotarian. He's a member of Connie's club, Hilo Club, Mitch Roth. So you can almost bet on it that Rotary is going to be involved in a lot of stuff going forward with our government. We get to contribute to community service, obviously. Any kinds of things that are happening in our community. We see ourselves as people who move, people of action. So lots of opportunity to provide community service. We can develop leaders. A lot of young people join Rotary because they want to get in our leadership training program, whether it's going to be for Rotary or in their own professional business career. Because now, it's a community leadership is a whole different ball game where you're working with volunteers, you become a community organizer. That's one of the greatest benefits of being a Rotarian today. And then you create these lifelong relationships. So these two pictures are pictures of people in my club. So this is kind of an older group. Every one of these guys right there are over 70, actually over 80. And they are a core part of the core group of our club. And then all of these guys over here, all under 40, and they're also a great group of people. So this is my granddaughter I was talking about here, Marissa, 21 years old, already a Rotarian. So these are going to be people that I'm going to be connected to for the rest of my life, which I find that to be a great thing because as you kind of go through your life, it's these people that are have relationships with you that span decades are the ones that you come to depend on, and they depend on you, and that is a great feeling. It's a nurturing environment for families. This whole like kind of nefarious looking group right here, this is all my family right here. My kids, my grandkids, my nephews, my nieces, and they're all out wearing this green shirt because it's time to do our community service project, Hilo Huli, and so they're out all in the middle of that. Chance to grow as a human being. And so what I said at the onset is Rotary is where you go when you come to the point in your life where there's something out there that's bigger than you. And so what I see in these Rotarians is these lifetime Rotarians is they've come to that point in their life where it's about, not just my own personal interest, but helping those people who don't have enough food, helping people, who need social services, helping children who need to have, access to some of the basic things that we've had. What an opportunity to grow as a human being when you grow that part of you that's bigger than just whatever you can do as a person yourself. Okay, so that's District 5000. There's our website. I encourage all of you guys to go on it. There's a whole training library up there where you can learn all kinds of stuff about Rotary. So I'll end that and see if there's any questions about what I just rolled through, or anybody have any comments about what they just saw. Connie, how about you? Do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I just have to add that I think you're just way too young to have a granddaughter that's 21. How
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
oh yeah. No, I'm actually well preserved. I
Well
started drinking formaldehyde when I was about 50. So I'm actually 121 years old. So this is the science. Science can help. So
Oh, okay, okay. You need to share that with us,
Yeah.
that formula.
yeah. It's a long story, but anyway. Anybody got any questions or would like to add anything? Evelyn, you're an experienced Rotarian. Bob in Virginia, you've been in Rotary a while. You've had some experiences in Rotary that might be something you'd like to share with us. Anything you guys would like to say?
Well, yeah, I think when we do presentations like this, we always show the really big things. And club service really gets you sometimes into some really weird small projects that you do for your club.
Yeah.
And this is my funny story I want to tell. But there's a tradition in Rotary clubs of singing. And most of us do a terrible job at singing. There are very few good singing Rotary clubs. And I was assigned once to clean out our club locker. And while I was in the midst of doing this, I found a whole bunch of Rotary songbooks, and the pages were yellow. And I just quietly put them in the dumpster. I didn't want to, how shall I say, encourage our lack of ability to carry a tune. But as I say, lots of opportunities, big and small, newsletters, websites, plenty of stuff for everybody.
Vincent, I had a question.
Yes.
You mentioned the leadership training, and this is embarrassing to admit, but I think Bob and I have started leadership training 3 times and haven't completed it in Alaska and Arizona. But each time we edged a little bit closer because we were allowed to kind of jump in where we still had, modules left to do. I was just wondering if we decided to try this. I mean, there were reasons we didn't finish that had to do with stuff, life, but how does it work in Hawaii? Do you have to, does everyone start at the beginning in Hawaii and go all the way through? Do you give credit where people have completed stuff?
Yeah, it actually is it's a kind of a graduated tier, but for people that come into our district that have had some training already and have some experience, obviously we can start you in a different place. So Bob and Virginia, I would love to chat with you about it. And so after the meeting is over, I'll find your email, or you can put it in the chat, and then we can kind of talk about it. Maybe it's something that we can work out now, because most of it is virtual. In fact, all of it's virtual. It might work out better for you now. And don't feel bad about it, because people have tried it. I mean, some of our past district governors have attempted it, 3, 4, 5 times and haven't finished it. But but the main thing is that you want to do it, because if you want to do it, okay, then that means that you're interested and you want to be engaged. And that is the whole thing. Like Amanda mentioned earlier, is that we came here and we decided, hey, we're gonna make a commitment to Rotary, and we want to be engaged, and that is one of the things that one of our 4 strategic goals that we're trying to put out there, especially in our district, is to increase our reach, increase our impact, increase our engagement, and then have that ability to adapt, because as we know, things change and they change quickly. So we have to be ready to do it. So any other comments or anything you guys would like to say or ask? Yes.
Yes. So, I agree with you. I think that, in order to get people engaged, you have to give them something to do, right? And you feel involved and you have a great time. You get to really build those relationships with those other folks in your club as throughout the district and in other areas, and change people's lives. And I think that that's really important, as,
Yeah.
these projects, because it really gives people something to focus on.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
help others.
Yes, I agree with you, Evelyn. So what I tell people, I have this other little talk that I do that's called, be a Rotarian for life. And the main gist of it is that you have to connect with Rotary, one of three ways, right? Either you connect with the people or all of the three ways, which I've done all three of them, is you connect with the people and you see that, man, these relationships are really important to me. The second thing is that you connect with the mission of Rotary, which is like, wow, I'm going to keep doing this because this is something that's bigger than me, and so when I go out there and I'll give you an example. Well, my third thing I'll give you an example of. And then the third thing is that you have a Rotary moment and something happens to you. So those of you guys, Evelyn and Bob and Virginia, maybe you've had this moment where something happens and it cements you in there for life. Like for me, it was when the volcano erupted over here. Okay, and the lava flow went down. It took out one of our charter schools, Ku'o'okala, right? So here's like a few hundred kids who now didn't have a school. So we basically jumped on it, all the Rotary clubs here. We found a building for them that was kind of an older school, renovated the whole building, spent the whole summer doing it, right? And so, to me, it's like, okay, this is a project we're sawing, cleaning, painting, doing all that stuff. Okay, but then when the school opened, right? The school opened and all the kids came and their parents came. And I saw how much emotion that they had because they had a school again and that they could come back to school. Man, I sat there and that thing just went through my heart. And once I saw that, I was like, that's it. That's that moment that got cemented in me that changed it forever. So, okay. So anyway, it's kind of an emotional moment. I mean, you never forget that. So those of you guys that, there's Rotarians that go on these international trips, and when they're putting polio vaccine drops into these little African babies, and so they can save their life. I mean, that's a situation you don't forget that. And so it's something, what I tell people, service is not something you do. Service is something you feel. And once you feel that, then you're done. You're cooked. You're in the you're Rotary bread now forever. So anyway, I'd love it if you could put your contact information, just your email, in the chat, because I'm going to have to close the room here in a couple of minutes. And I really, really appreciate you spending some time with us in the morning. I'll send this morning. I'm going to send out a notification when we have our next meeting. So if you'd like to come again and just hear this one more time, or if you'd like to have this presentation, Lynn Goy already asked for it. I'll be glad to send that slide presentation to you as well. So I'm going to put my information down here as well. So feel free. Oh, Connie put hers down, and that's as good as mine. So send any of your questions to Connie, and then if Connie will get a hold of me. But I thank you guys, and so if you can hang around if you want to hear about youth protection, which is something that we're very, very serious about. So when we work with youth, everybody has to kind of go through this training about being able to work with youth appropriately. And so that's what we're doing. So if you don't have anything to do for the next hour and a half, that's what we're going to be doing on this very same channel. So you're welcome to stay with us. But if you've got something else to do, really appreciate your time and attention today. Okay. Yeah, feel free to contact me. But then, Connie, you have a statement or anything else you want to say? Oh, you don't. Connie's just waving bye. So you have to
Yeah, I
like,
was just waving goodbye.
yeah, okay. So we can
Nice
like
to
wave
meet
goodbye.
everyone.
Okay,
Bye.
Run by.
okay.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so-
Vincent.
okay,
Great, that was great. Thank you.
okay. All right, so I'm gonna let the people in for the next meeting here. So we can rock and roll. All right, here we go.
Thank you again
Okay.
for a great meeting and more information about Hawaii. I think
Okay.
this has been wonderful. And I thank you so much for your time, Benson.
Yes, Evelyn, thank you so much too.
All right. Aloha.
Yep, I appreciate your being there. Thank you. Okay, let's stop this.